Today, I'm going to show you 3 cities in a country you probably never thought you could live in that might be the perfect home for you. Stick around. It's time to downsize. Hi, I'm Rich Sparks, Senior Real Estate Specialist and Certified International Property Specialist, and this is the YouTube channel for you to find out options of where you can live in the world at a greater lifestyle at the pittance of a cost of most American cities. With a higher quality of life at less expense, why not? And you know, your kids will visit you more if you live in a really cool place. I'm going to show you 3 cities in France to see if it even makes sense to live there. Or would it be a horrible mistake? And if it's a horrible mistake, do they actually have enough wine to make you forget about it? I have scoured the internet looking for 3 cities in France to begin your new life as an expat to see if it makes sense. Now, each city I've graded on 5 categories. 1, safety. Number 2, medical. Number 3, quality of life. Number 4, cost of living. And the most important one of all, number 5, the international Watson meter. I think you're going to like it. If your idea of heaven is long walks along the Atlantic coast with soft drizzling rain, returning back to your cabin for a little sip of wine by a warm fire, then this might be the place for you. Located just north of France, the seaside yet rural community is known for its historical significance and excellent cuisine, with fresh cheeses and seafood and much, much more. The region of Normandy. Now, Normandy, from everything I found on the internet, is one of the safest places in all of Europe, and definitely one of the safest places in France. So it's a great place to go to. You really don't have to worry about much. It is quite rural. Is rated as one of the best places for medical in the entire world by the World Health Organization. Most all health costs, including specialists, including dentists, is covered. Expats living in France for more than 6 months qualifies for the National Health Program. An average doctor's visit will run you between $30 and $100. Now, the national insurance will cover 70% of that cost. Most expats and most citizens buy an additional insurance to cover the remainder. And a big bonus is right from the national health insurance, most prescription costs are 100%. Quality of life. With about 9,000 natural-speaking English folks in that region, the one thing is this area doesn't have a designated expat community. But Normandy is a slower pace of life. So if you're looking just to relax and calm down, it's fantastic. All the shops and businesses are closed for 2 hours a day for lunch. Can you imagine? They have great public transportation, so this is a fantastic leaping pad to visit all of Europe. Now, it does have a little bit of fickle weather. So overall, it's a very cool climate where this is located. Cost of living. Now, on average, rent in that area is about 37% less than most American cities. You can get a really nice place for around $700 a month. Purchasing a home is definitely an option. From my research, I saw plenty of excellent homes for under $200,000. However, cost of goods are about 1.37% higher than here in the US. Now, the international Watson meter for Normandy. This is Watson the Wonder Dog. And I don't know about you, but if I can't take my best friend, other than my wife, with me, I really don't want to go. Well, France is known for loving dogs throughout the entire country. But keep in mind, just like here in the US, when you get into more rural areas, they look at dogs a little differently. So we'll have to see how it pans out, if Watson's going to approve Normandy or not. And we'll check that out at the very end. So you want to stick around for the final grading on each of these cities. The next city is located in the south of France. It's a small port town that is the second most famous for making wine. So pour yourself a glass of wine and let's check out this city. Even though it's the second most famous for wine, it produces 4 times the amount of wine as the most famous, whose name I shall not mention, town in France. It's also famous for its shopping and cuisine. Most of the cuisine delicacies in this area are poultry related. Safety, France is very safe. Bordeaux is very, very safe. The only thing you might have to worry about is a pickpocketer. So make sure you put that wallet in front and don't be flashing that cash. Like the rest of France, it has excellent medical. But being a little bit of a larger city, your odds of getting an English-speaking doctor increases a little bit. What's that? Yes, dear. No idea, dear. Yes, dear. Love you too. Bye-bye. Well, Pam was wondering where that last bottle of wine in the house went. We'll have to talk about it later. Quality of life. The weather is generally mild year-round. Pollution is very, very low. There are plenty of historic sites and vineyards abounds around this area. The city has a very sizable English-speaking community and a very active expat community that you can get plugged into. And the best thing about this city is your wine glass will never have to be empty. The quality of life here in Bordeaux really sounds excellent. Everything I've read from every expat there has all been very, very positive. They're having a great experience. Now let's look at the cost of living. Rent for a 1-bedroom apartment, it's right around $800. Rent for a 3-bedroom apartment is going to run you closer to $1,300, and that is right in the city center. You can get it less expensive by moving out just a little bit and commuting in, but if you want to be in where the action is, that's about what it's going to cost you. Overall cost of living is about $1,000 a month plus your rent for one person. For 2 people, you're looking probably around $1,600 to $1,800, and that's including going out to restaurants, getting a glass of wine, enjoying life, traveling a little bit. For a family of 4, you're looking at about $3,600 plus rent. For the international Watson meter, and we'll see who he picks at the end, Bordeaux, I think, is a little more conducive for dogs. They allow them on public transportation. Heck, you can bring them into most restaurants. The only thing is cemeteries and very manicured parks, they don't want dogs. But just remember, you want a good citizen when you take your dog out and about, but it is not uncommon for the French to leave their home every morning with their cell phone, their wallet, and their dog. So Bordeaux's looking pretty good. The last city on our list for France is, of course, Paris. It happens to be where the largest amount of Americans retire to. They have thousands of them there, a very large and active expat community that you can get plugged into. Now, the cost of living there is significantly higher. You may as well add an additional $300 to $600 on your rent and add that on cost of living also. Overall, it's a bigger city. It's not going to be quite as safe as the other 2, but overall, compared to cities of similar nature, it's pretty daggone safe. Paris, I think, is one of those, if you like the hustle and bustle of city and you really want to be plugged in and just go, 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 this might be the place for you. As far as the international Watson meter, Paris, I think, would be pretty good. However, here again, it's a big city, a lot more hustle bustle. So stick around. We're going to be checking out and grading each of these cities to see which one makes sense for you. Make sure you don't miss our next video. It's an area where the cost of living is dramatically low, but the quality of life is high. So you don't want to miss out that one. Make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell. Let's check out our grading. For safety, we're going to give Normandy an A+. That's a no-brainer. Bordeaux, an A, and France, a B. For medical, we have an A for Normandy and an A for Bordeaux. But for France, we're giving it an A+. I just think the odds of finding an English-speaking doctor is just higher. So it might be a little easier for those of us that know no French, and maybe we're just beginning to learn. Quality of life, for Normandy, I'm giving it a B+. Keep in mind, I have to kind of put my own on there a little bit, and I think for me personally, it might be a tad rural for my liking. Now, Bordeaux, I'm giving it a straight up A. I think it has that nice blend between city life and rural life. It's almost, if you know Michigan, almost kind of like an Ann Arbor, Michigan. Paris, I'm going to give a B. Some of you people that really love Paris probably, don't shut me off. It's just my personal thing. Paris might be an A for you. Cost of living, we're going to give Normandy and Bordeaux a straight up A. Paris, we're going to give a B. It's a little more costly. And now for the international Watson meter, who will he choose? Will it be Paris? Maybe Normandy? Maybe Bordeaux? Let's see what he likes. And it's Bordeaux. Watson has chosen Bordeaux as being a fine city to bring your pet and to live there. I hope this was very exciting for you, and I hope you consider lots of options to make sure you live that retirement dream you've always hoped for. This is Rich Sparks. I love you, and I'm out.